on the Mustangs Sports Network from Learfield. This is the Hilltop Hoop Show, presented by SMU Cox School of Business, with head coaches Andy Enfield and Toyelle Wilson. And now, live from Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue, here is your host, Rich Phillips.
Good evening. Welcome to another week of the Hilltop Hoop Show. I am Rich Phillips with you here on Monday nights, 7 o'clock at Ozona Grill and Bar, talking SMU basketball. Thanks to those of you joining us on the SMU Mustangs Facebook page and everybody here at Ozona as well. First up, as we do every week, let's welcome in SMU women's basketball coach Toyelle Wilson.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're going to talk Eagles in a little while.
Yes, please.
You notice she has a
that's
green.
The good thing. That's the good thing that came out of Sunday.
She had a green shirt on. We knew immediately when she walked in what that was. Let's talk basketball, though, first. You were in Miami yesterday.
Yep.
70-63 loss to the Hurricanes. Down 4 at half, 9 at the start of the fourth, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Miami had a quick 9-0 start to that fourth quarter. What kind of happened at that point?
Definitely. I think we took some quick shots, and that led to them in transition. And so, I told them it's one possession at a time. You're not going to get it back all in one possession. And I think, again, with the new kids, and we're out a couple starters. Shantae Embry's out for the year. Ella Brow's out for the year. So she hurt her knee in the Duke game, and so she's out, probably going to have surgery this week. And we're not going to make any more players return. So right now we're down to 9. A freshman that just got back cleared, so we're really 8, but she just got cleared. So the biggest thing is now having that chemistry with new kids playing together. Not new kids necessarily, but just that lineup of the 5 playing together. So I remind the kids, though, the biggest thing for me is what I told them the day before is do things the best that don't require any talent. And that's, hustle plays, 50-50 balls, things like that. And so I love their effort. I love their urgency. But their urgency has to be like that. At the fourth, it has to be at the beginning of the game.
They did stay after it. They got it down to, 3 with 1:38 to play. What keyed that rally there in the fourth quarter?
We pressed up a little bit, had the other team playing fast. They took a lot of quick shots, but we hit shots in the fourth. To open the game, I want to say we had maybe 8 to 10 uncontested shots that we didn't hit, and you just can't in this league. You just can't miss wide open uncontested shots.
I know TK Pitts does a lot for you defensively. Had to be thrilled to get her season high, too, with 14 points yesterday.
Yeah, she did a lot of cutting without the ball. We put her in a different position on the floor, and she did a really good job of adapting to that new position now that we have one less ball handler without Ella. And so I thought she did a really good job trying to adapt. And, again, the guards, that rotation is going to be a little different now that we don't have Ella. And so everyone has to kind of step up and bring something a little bit more to the table with one man down.
Shooting, though, obviously has been off for
Yes.
the last several games. Is it something that you almost feel like was contagious within the team?
No, I just think, they got to have a better focus. And, great play. Coaches can't hit the ball in the basket, We can set them up and put them in the right position and plays, but you got to be able to hit baskets, hit shots to be in any game. The score's not going to be, 30 to 20.
And then yesterday it just got to be too much Haley Cavender, didn't it? She had an incredible shooting day for Miami.
Yeah, again, she's a good player, and, we switched different people on her, but they did a lot of actions off ball, and I thought our girls didn't do what they were supposed to do as far as with the game plan. And so they'll be looking at that, obviously, tomorrow morning at practice before we start to get on the court. We'll work on all those scout errors. You
mentioned Ella out for the year, and now Shantae also out for the year. Who are some of the players? Obviously, a lot more goes on Jess Peterson down low without Shantae in there.
Yeah, Jess had 20 rebounds. She has to finish more around the rim. But, our shooters are going to come to play. We can't have 2 starters with no points. Nia has to shoot it better. And, Z has to shoot it better. No one doesn't really care if you're injured or you have nicks and knacks and things like that. But we need more players showing up in the score box.
Also last Thursday, lost at home to Duke. That was a great first quarter. The girls had 8 of 12 from the floor, down 24-21. What happened after that?
Loved the energy they came out with. They were really ready to execute, and they were playing physical. And, I really think Duke is the best team in our conference. I say that.
That's saying something, by the way.
Yeah, because, really, their defense, they play both sides of the ball. Notre Dame can score the basketball, but I think Duke really defends, and they make you play and push you, play your offense out of half court. But Duke's an amazing team. Duke showed the Duke on why they're top 4 team in the country, top 5 team in the country. But they can score. They have a bench player that leads them in scoring. I mean, 8, 10 All-Americans on that team.
Yeah.
I think Duke is an amazing team.
You had Nia Robertson come off the bench in that game. Only second time this year she's done that. Why'd you make that change?
Yeah, just coach's decision. I just wanted to switch it up a little bit.
You a little concerned about her shooting of late?
Yes. Yeah, I was looking at it today, and she has to realize, once you don't make 1 or 2 threes, then you got to do something else to be efficient. And so getting downhill, getting to the free throw line, playing off a 2, getting to her pull up. And, I want to watch film of her, and we're going to continue to watch film on ways that I can help her get better. And that's my goal is the reason we need her to be effective, again, without having another scoring guard and another ball handler. She has to be a little bit more of a playmaker also, besides being a scorer.
Last show we did 2 weeks ago came right after the Pitt game that you had on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been a hangover from that, you think, at all?
No, our girls have forgot about that. But the biggest thing is the biggest thing is, like, you have to be process-driven and not results-driven, and they have to still be hungry and still give that effort and still have that intensity. And the biggest thing is having that urgency. And so we got to continue to demand that from them every quarter, every game, every practice. And they do that organically.
Our segment each week with Toyelle Wilson is brought to you by Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue, with the best patio in town and happy hour from 4 to 7 every Sunday through Friday. Specials including free chips and salsa. Ozona Grill and Bar, find your comfort zone. 2 games this week for you, starting up Thursday night with Louisville, 7 o'clock. It's on the ACC Network. John Hendry will have it on the SMU Mustangs app. And I know this. We know everything is just amplified right now in the ACC. As I was looking at the net rankings today on the women's side, 16 in the top 100.
Yeah, this league is a monster. Having the net in top 100 teams and 16 of the 18, that's unbelievable. But that's why we say it's the best conference in the country. And the best players only play in that league, and the best players go play pro and play in the WNBA, and that's expected. And so it's an amazing testament to all the coaches that recruit to that level and get those players to come here.
The Cardinals 14-6 on the year. They're 7-2 in the league. They're 7-2 on the road too this year. And their only loss that came to an unranked team was to Virginia Tech last week. Obviously, Louisville really got it going on this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're one of the story programs. They continually go to Final Fours, Elite Eights, all those things. He's a great coach, Jeff Waltz. They have great scoring. They have a post player that's like in her 6th or 7th year. They have a couple guards that can really shoot the ball, but they want to play fast-paced. They're going to pressure you defensively, kind of like how Duke did. They force 20 turnovers a game. They really play in transition really well, and so we'll definitely have our hands full, but our girls are going to be locked in, ready to go. Yeah,
the very balanced team. Tajiana Roberts, their leading scorer at just 12.5 a game. They have 4 players averaging double figures. That's got to be a lot of coverage for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why you have to pay attention to detail with the scout and with personnel. And at this level, to be honest, a lot of teams have double-figure scores, multiple double-figure scores, and so it's not going to be always about defense, but it's going to be you have to be able to put the ball in the hoop. That's at the end of the day. Like you just said, they have 4 double figures. You got to put the ball in the hoop.
And then Sunday, you go back on the road to Virginia Tech. That's a 1 o'clock start on ACC NX. They are 14-6, 5-4 in the ACC. After 8 years under Kenny Brooks, 4 straight NCAA appearances, he's gone to Kentucky. Megan Duffy has come in from Marquette. What's she done to put her stamp on this team?
I mean, she's a great coach. She actually was at Michigan, and she left, and then I was at Michigan after her. And so she's, again, a great coach. Virginia Tech's done a great job coming into the conference. I know a couple players on that team, and so that'll be another good road test for us. I like sometimes playing on the road just as a better focus, not a lot of distractions at home, and it could just be us, like the team just be us. And so, again, every game, the next game is the most important game, and so right now we're focused on Louisville, and then we'll get to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, good size and good shooting team, too, from Virginia Tech that you'll see on Sunday afternoon. And then next Sunday, you've got an important game, don't you?
Yeah, that's our game, but the Eagles also play.
After you play Pitt, you'll get to go watch the one that really matters, at least right now in your heart, I know. You got to be thrilled with yesterday afternoon. I know a lot of us around here hated it. We wanted both teams to lose yesterday, those of us that are from around here, but the Eagles with a 55-23 win. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they had great offense. I mean, Saquon Barkley, I got to thank the Giants for letting us get Saquon Barkley. But we're accepting, any fans that don't want to be Cowboy fans anymore. We're always accepting new fans. But, no, just an unbelievable. Philly was amazing last night. I saw a lot of people's videos, and it's going to be an amazing 2 weeks to lead up into New Orleans. And unfortunately this year, 2 years ago, we had a bye, so I was able to go to Phoenix, Arizona and go to the game. But now I don't have a bye. So, but I'll be watching, like you said. I'm excited. Hopefully we can get that championship.
And what was that experience like 2 years ago to get to see your team in the Super Bowl in person?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was amazing. It's amazing. Saw a lot of people that I knew that I didn't even know were going to be there. But, bucket list things that you never can say you can never get to again. Obviously, you see, I said I would never maybe get to a Super Bowl, but I can't go this year. So you never know. You're taking advantage. We were given 2 tickets to go. So we went. But I'm excited to watch it on TV, and I can't even imagine it for the players to be able to do something that you dream of doing since you were little.
After the way last season ended for them, they lost 5 out of 6, and then their wild card game. Could you imagine they were going to rally back like this year?
I mean, we're going to stay fighting for our Eagles. So, but I'm excited for it.
All right. Well, I'm not excited for it. So go Chiefs.
Yeah,
what I got there.
But I will say thank you, everyone, for coming out consistently. Like, I see the same faces I know Bob was saying this is first time, but you guys are here every week. Y'all aren't here this isn't your first time. Y'all are here every single week and riding and dying with us, and we appreciate it and stick with us. And, I'm excited about what's to come, but thank y'all for staying true, and you're not fair weather fans. We appreciate it.
And hopefully we'll see you Thursday night, 7 o'clock at Moody Coliseum when Louisville is there. Coach, I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thanks, Rich.
Toyo Wilson here joining us on the Hilltop Hoops. We'll get Andy Enfield up here next. Welcome back here to Ozona Grill and Bar for Hilltop Hoops. I'm Rich Phillips with you Monday nights, 7 o'clock here on the SMU Mustangs Facebook page as well. And let's welcome in for our next segment, SMU men's coach, Andy Enfield. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
And this segment is brought to you by the SMU Cox School of Business. Long-term career success begins at the SMU Cox School of Business with the number 27 full-time MBA in the nation. Our commitment to your success, new state-of-the-art facilities, and welcoming national network combine to help open doors here in Dallas and beyond. Learn more at smu.edu/cox/Pony Express. Coming here tonight off of win Saturday afternoon at North Carolina State, 63-57, 15th win of the year. Always good to win on the road too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Our team is very good. We're 4-1 on the road and 3-0 on neutral. So have a lot of wins away from Moody Coliseum. Our guys have been very focused, and Saturday was an example of that. Played great defense. So we're proud of our team for being able to win on the road.
And a big day for your freshman big man, Cement Yigitolu, with a career-high 20 points along with 7 rebounds. You know, he had the first 8 points of the second half, but the last 4 were the ones that mattered the most. Especially, free throws have been a little bit of a struggle for him at times. You had to be thrilled to see him hit his last 4. Were they both and one opportunities, too, in the last 2 minutes?
No, it was 2. He made 2 and then 2 more, so 4 for 4 in crunch time. And they had come back, and so they were big shots for us. He's been working very hard to practice on his technique and his form, and he went up there and had no doubt. It was great to see.
Many teams have doubled Sumet, especially of late in the post. NC State did not. Was that something you thought they wouldn't do, would not double him?
Well, we're not sure what each team will do until we get there. NC State decided to play him one-on-one the whole game, and Sumet did a good job of backing his guy down, and our guards found him quite often on ball screen rolls to the rim or early in transition over the top when there was mismatches. So our guards did a good job of getting the ball in scoring position, and Sumet did his job. He actually was fouled probably 3 or 4 more times. He is a little disadvantaged because he's so big that he gets hit on the arm, he gets hit on the head, he gets hit on the shoulders. They grab his waist, and for some reason, because of his size, it's kind of like the Shaquille O'Neal syndrome where Shaq used to get hammered in there sometimes, and because he's so big, that they just let it go. And so I know Sumet got frustrated, especially in the second half against NC State, kept his composure and really just finished the game on a strong note.
Was that one of his better days, too, of getting strong to the hole right away once the entry got to him, you think?
Well, I'm not sure right away because sometimes he takes 5, 6, 7, 8 dribbles. So
yeah, he does.
sometimes I have a whole cup of coffee before he gets to the rim. But he did a good job of trying to go up quickly, and then he spun back baseline twice. And then, as I said, our guards, the best way to get him the ball was off a ball screen roll because he has tremendous hands and he's very skilled with his feet. It's unusual for someone that big to have such great hands and be able to control his body, especially on the move.
You mentioned the dribbles. Is that something you're trying to break a habit of his?
Yeah, when he's much better when he's more explosive when he can just take 1, 2, 3 dribbles and go up. When he's backing down, there's a lot of contact, and sometimes he gets off balance. But he's working on. He's only a freshman, but he had 20 points, career high, really impressive.
There's been a few games though of late too where I thought Virginia, I think, was one of them where I noticed it, where he was doing a much better job of like a retreat dribble when they bring the double, and he can find guys with a pass too.
He's an excellent passer, and he's very unselfish. He's a very good passer. As I said, he has great hands, and he sees the floor well. And our guys have played out of the double team many times this year.
Another guy who I thought really energized you guys on Saturday was Kerry Oquendo off the bench with 13.7 rebounds. Boy, he had a couple of drives that were so fast and so strong. He's become one of our more impressive dunkers on this team too.
Well, he is the most impressive dunker on our team. No, he's spectacular, especially in the open court. He was in traffic the other day and just went up, and in the half court, he was able to get downhill to the rim, and then, of course, in transition, he's the best, one of the best we've seen.
I thought his 7 rebounds, too, were a huge factor because I think he's at, 3 rebounds a game, but he had a lot of very key rebounds, too, for you on Saturday.
Yeah, he was very focused on making winning plays. Defensively, he didn't play very well against Louisville, and he came out Saturday and really made a statement with his rebounding, his defense, and he was able to score the ball, 13 points. He played a complete game for us.
Last field goal that you made in the game was a 3 by B.J. Edwards. Huge one because the lead had gotten down to 1. He also had a big 3 week and a half ago in the comeback win at Virginia. You've got to like his calmness in the big spots.
Yeah, right from the same spot, both games, the right corner, and Boopy found him on both occasions. So Boopy made great plays, and B.J. stepped up and made a shot. That was the biggest shot of the game in probably both cases other than the Virginia game when Boopy made the game winner.
Yeah, B.J.'s a guy who, he scores 8 the other day, but he had 6 rebounds, and there have been so many games where I look across there, it's like none of the numbers are huge, but they're all very effective, aren't they? He's affecting the game in so many ways for you.
Yeah, he leads the league in steals. Mm-hmm. He's our best defender at the guard spot, and probably our best defender on the team if you look at it. You lead the league in steals, you're pretty good. So he gets his hands on a lot of deflections, and also he's we don't run any plays for him. He just plays off the other guys. He's a true combo guard. He can create off the dribble, but he can score when he has to, and he's just makes a lot of winning plays.
That 3 for B.J. was set up by Boopy Miller. Same thing in that Virginia game that you referenced. Boopy's scoring wasn't there on Saturday, but what kind of effect did he have on the game for you?
Well, his defense was really impressive. He caused disruption. He would use his quickness, his speed, his toughness. He guarded bigger guys, smaller guys, so his defense was outstanding. We held them to 57 points, and he was a big part of that. And then his playmaking, he had 5 assists, and that last play to B.J. when we needed it, they had all the momentum. They cut it to 1, and that was the biggest shot of the game.
Yeah, 29% shooting for NC State and 4 of 24 from 3. Is that some of the best your team defense has been in a while?
Yeah, we were really disappointed after our Louisville game defensively. We did not have our best effort, and our players were extremely focused. We played a man, and then we went to zone against NC State, back to man, back to zone, mixed it up, and I thought they just gave tremendous effort. They played as hard as they have all season.
And you did change the starting lineup Saturday. Tibet Gorner started ahead of Chuck Harris. Tell us a little bit about the reasoning there.
Well, we wanted a little more size and length in our starting lineup to guard. They have some very good scoring guards, and so we put a little more size and length. We thought Chuck and Carrier coming off the bench then would give us a big offensive lift, which they did.
You mentioned it. Tuesday, lost at home, 98-73 to 25th ranked Louisville. Your guys didn't shoot well in the first half, but I got to imagine your defense was the bigger concern for you coming out of that game.
Well, our defense was there, and then we missed 9 layups, and it's very, very deflating. Similar to the Duke game when we missed 14 free throws. When another team scores the ball and goes on a 4 or 6 point run, and you're missing layups at the other end, that six or 4 point run can turn into a 10-point run pretty quickly if you're missing easy shots. And but we didn't play defense well enough to win that game, and we pointed out to our team, and that's why we're so proud of them to be able to go on the road and regroup and play much better.
They made 19 threes, 10 by one guy, Rain Smith. At some point, do you tip your hat to a guy who's shooting as well as he was on Tuesday?
Well, it was an impressive display. He has incredible range, very quick release, and he shot the ball as well as I've ever seen in the last few years in a college game.
They're 8-1 in the league now after a win over the weekend. Duke is 9-0. Do you use some of those top teams in the league for examples of you want from your guys?
Well, defensively, sure. Duke on paper and the numbers, they're the best defensive team in our league. They're also the tallest team in the country. So, but you know, the way they compete, we've had our share of great games this year as well. And our goal is to try to beat those teams. They do have some characteristics that I think every team can look at in the United States and say, hey, defensively, their defense helps them win a lot of games.
This is the Hilltop Hoop Show, Monday night, 7 o'clock at Ozona Grill and Bar. I want to remind you, if you want to support your favorite Mustangs, join SMU's official NIL partner, the Boulevard Collective. The Boulevard leverages NIL and the DFW community to develop excellence and leadership capabilities in SMU student athletes while supporting the missions of SMU and the SMU Athletic Department. Visit boulevardcollective.com to join and to learn more. You mentioned it right at the top here. You guys are playing well on the road. 4-1 now in ACC play. One of only 4 teams in the league that has 4 road wins in conference play. It's not just the way they're playing. Is it the overall approach that your guys have when you travel and when you're on the road? Is that something that you've really liked from this team?
Well, the only time our plane was delayed a few hours was the game we lost. So hopefully when the plane's on time, we get there at a reasonable hour, we have a good meal and get some sleep. We're 4-0.
I know you talked before the season that in a lot of ways you treat your guys like they're professionals. Some of that I could see in the way you let the guys kind of do their own thing on the road. It's not like they're going out at night or anything, but you don't have tons of rules on meal times and such, do you?
Well, we have the meal and we provide good food. If they want to eat it, they eat it. If not, they can use their per diem or their own money to go get something.
Has this always been your approach, or has this changed over your time as a head coach?
Well, we have a system and rules. We have curfew, and so the guys aren't on the road out all night. And if they are, we don't know about it. But you know, we try to give them their freedom and be college students and enjoy the full college experience. And with that, we don't micromanage what they do every hour, a minute of the day, and we expect them to be passionate about what they do, be a good teammates, and be dedicated to what we're trying to do.
Is it something that has to be done more so now in the NIL world? They are pros, kind of, right?
Well, NIL is great for the student athletes, and but we never think about that or bring that up. We're here to win college basketball games. We don't coach in a certain way because certain guys are, making NIL money. We coach them the same, and we coach them to try to become better players, better teammates, and improve as a team.
Of course, also because of the portal, teams, especially like yours, are older. You've got 3 freshmen, but no sophomores, mostly juniors and seniors. And I mean, that kind of has to show in their approach on the road, doesn't it?
Well, we have a very mature team, and our 2 freshmen, 3 freshmen, Samet is the one that plays, and the other 2 don't. And so most of our guys have college experience. They played in a lot of big games. They've played at other universities. In today's environment, a lot of guys are in their 2nd, 3rd school. So when you get someone that has 3 or 4 years of college experience, it helps the maturity. You just have to try to get them to buy in to each other, meaning they've all had different backgrounds and have played with a lot of different type of players over the years, different systems, different offensive systems, defensive systems. So it's that's the impressive thing about this team is we're much better now than we were to start the season. The players learned how to play with each other as far as the strengths and weaknesses, where each other need the ball to be effective, and then defensively to really play as a group instead of an individual.
I see it sometimes too. I feel like they're playing for each other a lot too. Guys encourage each other so much. That's something I think as a coach you probably worry about when you have so many new guys, don't you?
Well, I think if you look around the league and around the nation, there are certain teams you may say, wow, they don't really play for each other. And a lot of individual one-on-one type basketball, and they really don't play as hard on defense. We try to stay away from that. You know, to be successful, they have to buy into some kind of team concept. And so we're really proud of our guys because it's not easy to do at times, but they've done a great job so far.
All right, well, this week you're back to your Pac-12 roots, aren't you, huh? We get Cal and Stanford both this week.
I thought we were going on the road for a second. You scared me.
No, but familiar foes for you.
Yeah, we played Cal and Stanford the last 11 years, so we know them very well. Two great programs, two great universities. Looking forward to it.
Cal will be here on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock at Moody Coliseum. It's on the ACC Network. Scott Garner and I will have it on the SMU Mustangs app. They're 11-9, 4-5 in the ACC. They've won their last three. They swept both Florida teams at home this past week. And a familiar name, at least to some of us, that's leading them in scoring, Andrei Stojakovic, son of Peja Stojakovic.
Yeah, Cal's won 3 games in a row. They're playing very, very, very well. They've improved a lot since the beginning of the season, and they have some good wins. So we have to be prepared. Wednesday night will be a good game.
Stojakovic averages almost 19 a game. Is third in the league. You saw him last year, but he was at the other one. He was at Stanford last year. Is this kind of a natural progression for him of where he's gone with his scoring this year?
Well, he scored a lot more this year than he did last year. He's a sophomore. He's had a good season so far.
Is he similar to Dad, to Peja Stojakovic?
Well, it's hard to compare an NBA All-Star to somebody else. That's too much pressure for someone in the same family. So I'll let you guys decide that. I know they're both good players.
Their second leading scorer, Jeremiah Wilkinson, at 13 a game, shared ACC Freshman of the Week honors this week with Cooper Flagg. That means he had a really good week if he shared it, by the way, with Cooper Flagg. He started their last two. What have you seen from him this season?
Well, Stojakovic was hurt the last 2 games, so he put him in the starting at 30 points against Miami the other 2 nights ago, or last night, whenever that game was. And he's very explosive, and you score 30 points as a freshman in an ACC basketball game, it means you're pretty good.
Mark Madsen confuses me because he played at Stanford, but he coaches at Cal now. This is his second year coaching at Cal. What kind of style of game do you expect from him?
No, he's done a terrific job of just making the team competitive, and they play really good defense. They have some really creative things they do on offense, and he's done a great job. A very good coach.
Then Saturday, hosting Stanford at 5. That one's also on the ACC Network. They're 14-6, 6-3 in the league. I know you haven't probably scouted them a ton yet, but I'm sure you've seen them in some of your other scouting. Particularly, you got to see Maxime Reynaud, who's got to be a Player of the Year candidate in the ACC, leading the league both scoring and rebounding.
I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah, he's 7 feet tall, and he shoots the three. He can go inside, outside. He's very skilled, and we played against him for 3 years now. This will be the 4th year in a row we played against him, so we understand how dynamic he is at that size.
They've got a new head coach, Kyle Smith, but you also saw him at Washington State for the last 5 years. So what kind of style has he brought to Stanford?
Well, they're very successful this year. They're the same record we have, 6-3 in the league. They just won a couple big games, and he does an outstanding job as well, just like Coach Madsen. So we know we have 2 tough games this week against good players and good coaches.
And you see one of your old players here Saturday, Isaiah Sellers there at Stanford.
Yeah, he's done a terrific job. He's an elite shooter, and we know his game very well. His natural progression as a freshman, sophomore. Now he's a junior, getting a lot of playing time and doing very well.
All right, well, it's 2 games at home this week for the men. Wednesday night against Cal at 8 o'clock, Saturday at 5 against Stanford. And remember, the women play at home against, on Thursday, against, tell me who they play against, somebody, yell it out to me. Louisville? There you go, Louisville, thank you. It's too far back in my notes. Coach, appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday night. We'll get back to it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody coming
Thanks
out.
for coming,
and joining
everybody.
us here.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week here, 7 o'clock next Monday night here at Ozona Grill and Bar.
This has been the Hilltop Hoop Show with head coaches Andy Anfield and Toyelle Wilson. Presented by the SMU Cox School of Business and broadcasted live from Ozona Grill and Bar on the Mustangs Sports Network from Learfield.